Hey guys, it's me, Boog,
And Dad.
and Mo.
And Docs.
Yes, as
Docs is
today we're
joining us
gonna
for
be
this review.
yes, as today we're gonna be reviewing the Star Wars Black Series Clone Captain Rex.
Yes, this is the newest one that just come out from Ahsoka. We just found it at Walmart a couple of days ago. Your typical $25 clone price, pretty certain anyway, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
or
think there's
Black
just
Series price, more like.
yeah, it's just an updated version of course, Captain Rex, and we have an older version. We'll show you kind of for comparison's sake to kind of show you what they updated. I think they just made some little changes for to make him look like what it looked like in the Ahsoka TV show.
They kind of,
Um,
kind of like kind of gives them that more almost kind of this is kind of remind looks like the in between phases between phase the first phase and the second phase of clones where they start getting the colors in but still on the old style of helmets.
yeah, and I really need to watch that show again. What was he? I don't even remember him in the
So
show. Was he in
he
the show?
well he I think it was very much a thing where it's like he was there but they never said he was there pretty much that type of
I don't
thing.
remember seeing him.
Well,
Do you?
he was in the so I remember it was in like the scene where Ahsoka's having flashbacks like with Anakin and stuff with that type of scene and
Yeah, that's
goes
the only way we saw him, the
yeah, and she
flashbacks.
goes back to one of the battles with the 501st where
That's
I'm
right.
guessing Rex shows up, but they never but I don't think they ever actually like say that it's
I
Rex.
think we saw him. He just didn't have like a
Yeah,
speaking part. Yeah,
it's kind of like the Rex being kind of technically part of the Battle of Endor, where or not Endor, but Endor.
that was the bearded Rex.
Yes,
Yes,
bearded
the end.
Rex, where
Right.
it's not officially canon, but it's canon,
He made
kind
it
of,
all the way
you
through.
know.
Yeah. Why not? That's a perfect story for Rex. Yeah,
Yes,
Rex, awesome character. And of course, he was in the Bad Batch a whole bunch, but this is of
and
course
that's
from the
actually where
Ahsoka.
this figure is based off of.
Bad Batch, big Bad Batch, bad.
Bad Batch Rex.
Right, exactly. But not a whole lot's changed with the packaging. As you can see, the typical kind of flat black with the awesome artwork on the back and on the side.
We
And
do get the kind of tealish blue for the Ahsoka series,
yeah, it's definitely a different color of blue there for the stripe.
and he comes in at number 16 in the Ahsoka line.
Okay. And then, of course, the back, we've got a few words here. I'll read to you. So, nothing groundbreaking here, of course. Rex served the Republic on the front lines during the Clone Wars, taking orders from Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano, first as a captain and later a commander. So there you go. All right, give us a couple minutes and we'll get it open and see what you think.
We are back. We are back with Clone Commander Rex. Or
Yes,
not, or
Lone
Captain Rex.
Commander Rex. Yeah,
Yes.
or like Big said, Captain Rex.
Yeah, well, actually, this is specifically, this timeline is Captain
Yeah, he's
Rex.
not quite been promoted yet. He was just close.
Yes.
Yes, he'd actually been denied 5 times.
Yes.
So then he finally gets it in the end. So
Due to him wanting to change his name to T-Rex. And but then when he finally just went with Rex, that's when he got accepted for Commander.
exactly,
He
yeah.
wasn't going to be Commander T-Rex.
Well, the old Jedi Council's a tough
Yeah,
bunch.
they
Just
have a lot
promote
of rules.
anyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't promote Anakin. He didn't even get Grand Master,
Oh,
and he was the chosen one.
yes.
Not good enough, you are. But anyway, yeah. So here he is, and like I said, this is the Ahsoka version, and I think I like it. It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, definitely. Like kind of like I said, we kind of have the in between timeline here, where we have the kind of integration from the phase one of the clones to phase two, where we start
yeah.
getting all the colors, but but we still have the phase one helmets.
So he's got his really cool kind of like shoulder pad thing there. He's of course got on his um I don't know what you call this, like his a little bit of a skirt. It's vinyl, it's not cloth. Of course, the double
Yeah,
holster with the guns in there.
blasters, Batista, right?
Sorry, blasters, yes, of course. But yeah, really good looking figure, very clean. Um, kind of a flat kind of a flat matte white and blue. Nothing shiny on his costume
Well,
really
he
at
does have a
all.
little bit of a shine, though.
Oh, the blue paint is a bit shine, and then the white's kind of a flat.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm thinking like this blue paint was probably like just put on relatively recently.
yeah,
Because
that's
I'm
what it
pretty
reminds
sure,
you of.
like in this, when we see this in the Ahsoka, it's probably towards the beginning of the like 501st and like Italians actually being getting their own identities and stuff.
Yeah, this is like brand new issued armor, kind of. Yeah, he looks pristine
Yeah,
and clean. He doesn't like see any action in this armor yet. It's like the brand new stuff.
Now, if we'll bring in a little bit later on, Rex here.
Yes. Or
So you have kind of have how it started versus how it's going.
yeah, after he's definitely seen some action, but not
Yes.
even so much that. Like it's not even the same helmet. You can see the paintwork on it's completely different.
Well,
Um,
you can kind of see the general design is actually relatively similar, just the helmet is changed.
yeah, the helmet set changed. No visor. This
Yeah.
one we have the antenna. This one we had the visor. This, of course, his shoulder piece, top piece here is completely different. I thought this had something to do with rank, but I'm not
Yeah, that might have
100%
been like the
sure.
captain thing, because I think that's what they do for like stormtroopers. They have the little shoulder thing if they're like a high ranking.
Yeah, I know. This one you kind of have the blue stripe, but this is actually cloth, where this one is vinyl, and it has that blue stripe too. It's just not quite as thick as this one.
Yeah.
Of course, a
You can
lot of
really
lot of dirt, battle damage
you can
on.
really see the damage on the sides here. And then of course you got all the tally marks there.
Yeah, on the older Rex figure.
Yeah.
Um,
All the yeah.
I don't
Yes.
remember exactly how old that figure is. Do you know how long we've had it, dude? Do you remember?
Well, it's Bad Batch figures, so I mean,
It's a year or two,
yeah,
not
something like
that
that.
long ago. So he
Yeah.
was he was in the Bad Batch mix.
Yeah.
I said Bad Batch mix. That's kind of funny. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, definitely different. Some differences there between the two figures. Um, really need if you already have the original one, really need to add another one to your collection. It's kind of up to you. Um, but yeah, this is definitely not a bad figure at all. Kind of depends, I guess, what look you're going for. If you want more of the kind of the grungy, dirty style, or the clean, crisp, just stepped off the clone trooper factory. Um,
Now we'll remove the helmet. Take a look at the head.
I think it looks very nice. Looks like
Yeah.
Rex to me.
Even though my one thing is, I don't think he had. If I could be a real stickler for this, but I don't think he had blonde hair during this time.
Really?
I
Oh, he
think
always had blonde hair.
no. I think he. There was a time where he kind of did look like the rest of the clones,
Really?
where he had black hair,
I always thought it had that weird blonde gene some way somehow.
and then like I don't know. I always thought he kind of like dyed it later on to stand out or something. But
Yeah, I'm not sure if he dyed it or if it was. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I
yeah.
don't know.
Well, the older one has it too.
So let's see the two head sculpts there. Is it the same head sculpt, dude?
Um,
Did they cheat? No, I think it's different.
yeah, I think it's different. We got more of a square face on the newer one compared to the more rounder one on the older one.
And honestly, I believe this one looks way more like him, and you got more hair
Yeah,
texture with it too.
this one's a lot more realistic than this one.
Yes. So, I think me personally, they take it a step backwards with this figure. I would have to say I prefer the older one there, the one on the left, this side. I think it's my favorite.
Yeah,
Definitely, I think the head sculpt is a lot more looks a lot more like him, which for some reason also looks a lot like Boba Fett. Um,
well, obviously, because they're kind of related in the
and Jango
timeline.
Fett.
Oh yeah, because they're all clones, Matisse. They're clones of Django. They're supposed to look like him.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay, that explains a lot. So,
And Dad has somehow never figured this out. Just like how we never figured out that Scar and Mufasa were brothers in The Lion King.
I had no idea. I was totally shocked. I'm still shocked. Still haven't got over that one yet. Yeah. I think you're gonna tell me is like Rexy's related to Mr. Potato Head or something.
He actually is in the Toy Story canon.
What?
They are
No.
they are cousins twice removed.
Oh, this
Anyway,
never ends.
let's try to wrap up this review.
Yeah, I think it
So
is.
first, we'll take a look at the blaster.
Oh
So
yeah, we haven't seen those at the holster yet.
it's your traditional clone blaster here,
Right.
which does fit
Nothing too
into
special.
the holster, and also the helmet. The removable helmet isn't quite as terrible as some of the other ones. I will say that I think the shoulder pads really help a lot with kind of transitioning to kind of a little bit of a bigger helmet.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look like they.
It doesn't look quite as jarring.
Yeah, it doesn't quite give them as much of that Lord Dark helmet kind of
Yes.
feel. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's
All
see.
right.
This one wasn't really that bad either, but yeah.
No, that doesn't bother me too much. I know a lot of people complain about it. That doesn't. There's been very few that I've really looked at it and went, "Oh, that head looks way too big." You know, I don't, that doesn't bother me too much. So
Yeah.
I would prefer them to keep making them like this, where the helmet goes over. I think for a while they were trying to do like just
I,
a
I, I,
swappable, right?
I would rather have the swappable head because that's just, you know,
But Batiste, we lose the swappable head every time, so it doesn't do us any good. At least this we have a chance. Jeez.
fair enough.
But anyhow, yeah. So put the other one back up there with it, and we'll give our rating here. But yeah, so I think pretty much if you've got this guy, you already got the Ultimate Rex. I don't think you should waste your $25 on the new one, uh, unless you're just really into that super clean sculpt. And
So, well, also, actually, another reason you may want this is that it's 501st people. They can just throw onto your display if you want to build up your 501st.
that's true. That's very very true. All right. Okay. So
You can
it's
have kind of like Captain Under Rex or something, working under Rex or
I guess
something.
so. All right.
Anyway,
Drum roll. The Boogie Dad 5-star ratings. You going first, Boog?
um, I think it. Well, let's see.
At dogs.
I think I'm gonna give it 4.5.
Okay.
Think really my only problem with this that I would have liked to seen the kind of skirt piece be cloth like the older one.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna go with a 3.5. Um, I mean, it's kind of like Hasbro. You've already shown us you can do better. Why take steps backwards? I'm like with Boo too. I prefer the cloth. Um, I mean, I will say the vinyl one does lay better, but the cloth one just looks more realistic.
Yeah.
Uh, and then of course, I'm a huge fan of the battle damage, so we have a lot of that in the previous Rex figure. So I'm going to naturally lean towards that. But I wouldn't let that skew my. That's just a personal opinion. So I wouldn't let that skew that my numbers. But
And also something I'm kind of noticing now that we have next to each other is that the older one is actually the white's actually kind of stained a little bit. It's
uh,
kind of a little bit yellowish.
yeah, yes, exactly. And I think that's by design because
Yeah, I
it's
think
not that
so.
old of a
Yeah.
figure. So I think that's just kind of go along with that dirty look they kind of gave him. And then, but the biggest thing too is the head sculpt. You already had a really awesome head sculpt. I don't know how you go backwards with that. I would prefer them just to reuse the one they had that was better. So anyway, that's what I'm going to go with. 3.5 stars. I feel like if you already got this Rex, don't waste your money. So
Okay. So make sure you like, subscribe. We'll see you guys next video. Bye, everyone.
see you next time.